Hey, it's Ken. We're going to move on now to the 62 grain video for 5.56. As a recap, I was saying in the video 12.5 inches or 16 inches, which one is the best dual rifle, and I was shooting the 55 grain Virgin M1983 for the 5.56. So we're going to continue now with the 62 grain, because at the end of that video I was saying that if you want to improve your distance and your effectiveness at distance, you're best off moving at least to the 62 grain. So we're gonna continue that here. As a recap, civilian ammo is more readily available than mil-spec ammo. However, it does have a lower muzzle velocity, but the benefit is that it generally costs less than $1 per round before shipping and handling. The next thing we need to keep in mind when we're doing this is 3,200 feet per second from an 18-inch barrel is not the same as 3,200 feet per second from a 24-inch barrel. And a lot of these manufacturers, they really don't tell you what the barrel length is that they're getting these muzzle velocities that they print on the box. So you really don't know. But generally, if you're buying ammo that costs $1 or less, or civilian type ammo as I like to call it, then you're not going to achieve that. You're going to have a 20-inch barrel to achieve the muzzle velocity that's printed on the box, or at least get close to it. And I'm going to show you the type of ammo we're going to be using for this video. The first is Hornady Black. Hornady Black costs 90 cents a round. And Hornady produces another 62 grain full metal jacket. They call it Hornady Frontier, and it costs 60 cents a round. So the Hornady Black costs 90 cents a round. The Hornady Frontier costs 60 cents a round, but I don't know what the difference is. I don't know why the Black costs 30 cents more a round than the Frontier. The grain weight is the same, the ballistic coefficient is the same, and the muzzle velocity is the same. So I don't know what it is, what the difference is. Why would they charge 30 cents more a round for Hornady Black than Hornady Frontier? I don't know. If somebody knows, maybe they can say it in the comments. The next one we're going to use here is the Winchester M855 green tip. And then finally, we're going to be shooting the AAC Saber black tip. Now, I was kind of uncertain about this round because I saw a lot of stuff on YouTube about it. How one guy called it a varmint round. One guy says that it disintegrates too quickly, and there's various other things, and then you hear some people talking about it, and they seem to be pretty pleased with the results. So the results are mixed. But I decided we go ahead and shoot the Saber black tip into the water jugs at 100 yards, because no one else is really. I think the longest shot that I've seen that where someone's trying to recover the projectile is 38 yards. So we're going to shoot it at 100 yards and see how it does. So the first thing you'll see here is is me shooting these projectiles across a chronograph. It's going to go real quick because we're shooting 3 different types of projectiles, so it's going to move quickly. And then we'll get into shooting the water jugs as quickly as you can. Hope you enjoy it. These are the rifles being used during the video, and as usual, we're using federalpremium.com for the ballistic calculator. We're just going to let it scroll. Here we see the muzzle velocities for the 3 projectiles. The first 2 projectiles are looking pretty solid for a 300 yards for the 12.5 and 400 yards for the 16-inch. I'm going to reserve what I think about the black tip until after we shoot it. All right, it's time to shoot some jugs. Shot number 1, 62 grain FMJ from a 12.5-inch barrel at 100 yards. Well, there's a straight up miss. The question is, why am I showing you this miss? Well, I adjusted my dope for 62 grain, from 55 grain to 62 grain. But what I didn't realize was how much I was going to have to adjust my aiming point. Because I'm shooting downhill, when I was firing the 55 grain, I was aiming at the bottom third of the jugs. But with the 62 grain, I had to change my point of aim to the very bottom of the jug. So I didn't think that changing from 55 grain to 62 grain would cause me to change my aiming point so much, but it did. So you might want to keep that in mind when you're out there firing. Projectile passed through jug number 4. It was yawing. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to trap it. Shot number 2. Here are projectiles 1 and 2. Found one on the ground beside the table where it had bounced or deflected, and then I found projectile number 2 in jug number 5. So they did yaw, they did flatten out. Very nice. All right, 62 grain FMJ from a 16-inch barrel at 100 yards. This is the remaining of shot number 1. A small fragment was found in jug number 2, and this was found in jug number 3. Pretty devastating. Shot number 2. Unfortunately, I'm not able to find the projectile for shot number 2, so we're going to have to take a look at the jugs. This is jug number 2. There's the entrance. Here's the exit on shot number 2. Here's the entrance for shot number 3, obviously yawing. For jug number 3, excuse me. And then here's the exit for jug number 3. And I have no idea. It went somewhere, wherever wasted projectiles go. Next is 62 grain green tip from a 12.5-inch barrel. All right, first shot with the green tip was a complete pass-through, which was I was afraid of, and the bullet did yaw, which is a good thing. We're going to try the 16-inch now and see if we can trap the bullet in 6 jugs, but my battery may die, unfortunately, before I can get the shot off, so we'll see. If my battery does die, then I'll just take pictures of the jugs. Hopefully I can get this shot off before it does die. I was surprised to find this projectile in jug number 4. Because of the steel penetrator, I was expecting it to go through all 6 jugs, but it didn't. So we'll go back and take one more shot with the 12.5 and the 16-inch barrels and see if we can't trap another projectile inside those 6 jugs. Shot number 2, green tip, 100 yards from a 12.5-inch barrel. I found the projectile in the jug to the right of jug number 4. All right, there you go. It's not the greatest deformation, but hey, we'll take it. We found it. Sorry my camera's moving so much. At least we was able to trap it this time. Shot number 2, green tip, 100 yards from a 16-inch barrel. All right, as you can see, the projectile did fragment. This was found in jug number 2. Here's the projectile in jug number 4. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you can see it on the film or not, but jug number 2 is just eviscerated. The whole back blew right out. Not just, I mean, you could tell where the projectile left jug number 2, but the back is completely torn. That's just amazing. Shot number 1 from a 12.5-inch barrel, 100 yards, 62 grain, saber black. I'm really interested to see what this thing's going to do. I must say I am disappointed. This came out of jug number 1. This came out of jug number 2, and there was no attempt at all to penetrate jug number 2, so that's what was in jug number 2. And then I found little pieces of shrapnel like this all over the table, so I guess when it exited jug number 1 and the water sprayed everywhere, we started getting these little bitty bits of fragmentation. Kind of disappointing. Shot number 2 from a 16-inch barrel, 62 grain saber black tip, 100 yards. All right, you're going to have to show the jugs first here. This is jug number 1. The front's here. The projectile hit the jug and pretty much just exploded. This is jug number 2. You see that hole right there? That hole was made by this part of the projectile. And inside jug number 2, there's like a fine powder where the bullet just exploded. And then all over the table, sorry about the camera work, sun's very bright, but all over the table you find little pieces of fragmentation like this. So not what I was hoping, not at all. All right, we've come to the end of the 62 grain, and there were some surprises, met some expectations and some disappointments. I was surprised that the 62 grain green tip did such a great job from the 16-inch barrel. However, I got the expected results from the 12.5-inch barrel. So I can understand why servicemen were having problems with their M4s, 14.5-inch barrel, shooting green tip. I can understand why they were having problems. I mean, if you're shooting it from 100 yards and you're getting those poor results. 62 grain saber black tip, unfortunately, is like that one gentleman said, it's like a varmint round. I mean, it hits the first jug and it just goes to pieces. And I mean, it literally explodes. So I'm really disappointed. I was kind of hoping it would hold together better since we were shooting it at 100 yards, but it does not. So looking for a great self-defense round and you're worried about penetration, the 62 Saber Black, that's your go-to right there. As soon as it hits the target, it just goes to pieces. It's not going to go far. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a blessed day.